Hello everybody, welcome to Bad Big Games, where you talk about all things PlayStation and games. I'm your host Joseph, and today we're going to talk about what could be the beginning of the end for GameStop, what's going on, why it's happening, and what this can mean for the future of the next generation. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, Future Joe, start the show.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
So before we begin, I gotta let you guys in on two things, because I believe in truth and transparency. The first thing is that I used to work at GameStop, so I might be holding a bias towards them or against them. I was let go. I gave a autistic kid a Skylander toy, and that's why they let me go. So I might be holding bias when I'm talking about GameStop, but I'll try my best to put that aside. Second, I know I have a pimple. It's the worst. I hate it. I hate myself. And you know who must be hating themselves as well? The board at GameStop. Because just today they announced that, unfortunately, they are no longer looking to be bought out because no one wants to buy GameStop. That's right. About 6 months ago, GameStop announced, back in June 2018, it was a simpler time back then, GameStop announced that they were looking for buyers because as of right now, they're kind of lost in the woods, right? Their leadership was kind of falling apart. A lot of people were leaving the company. The CEO, unfortunately, had to step down because of cancer, and he unfortunately lost that battle. And in the meantime, they start buying all these companies that just don't make enough money for them or don't turn a profit at all, like Spring Mobile, for example. GameStop tried to get into the mobile market. No, Soulja Boy, calm down. I'm not talking about you.
Drake!
I'm talking about cell phones. They tried to take on AT&T, Sprint, and Verizon. That failed miserably. They tried their hand at publishing, which looks like is not turning the profit that they thought it would. And then you see ThinkGeek, right? They bought ThinkGeek, and I mean, I'm not the only one that when you walk inside a GameStop, you see the whole big bin of clearance ThinkGeek stuff. It's everywhere. So they're trying to turn a profit where they can, and it's just not working. And that really sucks. And so when they announce that they're no longer seeking a buyer because no one wants to buy them, if you're owning stock in GameStop, what do? You sell the crap out of it. And so today they reported a 27% loss on their stock, which means the value of GameStop in just one day almost lost a third of its value. That's horrible. And so if you're GameStop and you're coming back to the board and you have no buyers, nobody wants to buy you, what's going to happen to GameStop? It's really simple. This is the beginning of the end. This is the end of GameStop as we know it. All hands on deck. You're going to start seeing in the very, very soon future of GameStop. We saw it last year. They closed down 500 stores, right around there. You're going to see more stores being closed because right now GameStop's at the point where they're too big and they don't know how to sustain themselves because the market is shrinking. Because it's not just digital, though digital is a huge part of it. It's that convenience factor of not having to walk into a GameStop, not having to be asked a million questions about a million different games that you won't pre-order. Karen, I don't care about look at me, Karen. I don't want to pre-order a fucking game. I don't want your warranty, Karen. I could care less about your card. Nobody wants to deal with that. They might as well just buy The Witcher 3 in their underwear. They just don't care. And then on top of that, you have the juggernauts like Amazon coming in and encroaching on what's left of the physical market. And so if you're GameStop, you're backed against the wall. You have these two juggernauts that cannot be beaten. And so what do? Where do you go? Where do you pivot? And the fact of the matter is we're watching the slow death of GameStop right in front of us because there's no way they can come back, right? What can they do? They can't do really anything except stick to the status quo, which is let's start selling shirts. Like you walk into a GameStop, I say it all the time. I said it in this video. I'll say it again. It's Hot Topic for games, right? There's shirts, there's statues. I saw that the Mass Effect glove thing, you turn in a knife, you stab people in the chest. That's badass, but I'm not gonna buy that, right? You see the clearance bins full of just crap you're not gonna use. The wall, the monument to Funko himself there, that's the future of GameStop, and that sucks. Like it's super easy to get down on GameStop. It's super easy to hate them. It's super easy to hate Karen. I don't want to pre-order the Metro game, okay, Karen? Don't want to. It's easy to hate on her. But to be completely honest, it is going to suck. GameStop holds a lot of memories. That was my first real job when I was a young adult. Oh my God, I'm I'm aging right in front of my eyes. But like, that was my first gig, and when I was a kid, that's where you wanted to work. That was your Disneyland. And still, when you go in there, at least for me, there's awesome people that work there. Still, like, I get it. The stereotype is true. They ask you a lot of questions, but that doesn't mean I want the whole company to go under. And yes, I get it. They've done horrible business decisions. They've incentivized the pre-order. They're why pre-orders are so big. They've held betas up for ransom. I get it. GameStop as a company is shit, but I can't help but think about the people that work there. I can't help but think about Karen. Like, I was going in to buy Resident Evil 2, and I was just talking to the cashier, and we are talking about how he's working 2 jobs to pay his student loan debt. And I'm like, I feel ya. I'm on that boat. I can't help but to feel for one of my friends I knew back in the day. He was paying a mortgage with that. He was paying for a house on GameStop. I know one guy back when I worked at GameStop, he was there because he didn't know a thing about video games. He didn't care, right? But he's there because his son had a rare disease and GameStop's insurance covered it. And that's why he was working there. It's not because he loved it, because he had to. There are people, their lives are on the line. This is just do or die. I get it. It may not be your dream job. It may not be important to you, but it's going to be important to someone else. And even if GameStop goes under, which it looks like the writing's on the wall, all those people, the boardroom, the CEO, CFO, all those guys, gals, guess what? Guess what? At the end of the day, those monopoly wearing, looking, caviar eating sons of bitches, because that's what I think all rich people do. I think they just dress like Roger Stone and eat caviar and have weird white people orgies. Nonetheless, all those weird rich people working at GameStop, guess what's going to happen to them? When that day happens, they're going to write themselves bonuses. They're going to jump out with the golden parachute, jump into their Teslas, drive away, and pretend they're making a difference. That is the only thing that's going to happen to these people. But to the rest of us, the rest of those people, the store managers, district managers, your SGAs, your GAs, all those guys and gals, they're out on the street. And that's the thing everyone is forgetting. So these are people's lives we're talking about. And that sucks. But it kind of goes to show that the future is digital, right? We're talking about Game Pass. We're talking about PlayStation Now. Talking even about Google Stream. And you don't hear much about GameStop anymore. I kind of feel like as gamers, we have embraced that digital future and we're going for it. So the next generation, it's going to be interesting to see it without GameStop. I wonder what that's going to look like. It looks like we're going to find out sooner rather than later. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, what do you guys think about this news? You think it's good, bad, indifferent? Let me know in the comment section down below, because here at Bad Bit Games, not only is it about PlayStation, it's about the games, it's about the conversation. So hit that comment section. Let me know what you feel. And with that said, if you like rants like these, news, impression, game reactions, unboxings, the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players that releases each and every Thursday, then please hit like, share, subscribe, because it helps me out. Shows me that you care. Ring that bell, because YouTube, it's YouTube. So with all that said, with all that out of the way, everybody, keep your wits about you and have a nice one.